Point Galaxy was designed in 2025 from the design team of Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, Sean Stakovich, who brought you such card games as Point Salad, Truffle Shuffle. Point Galaxy plays 1 to 5 players in 15 to 30 minutes, ages 10 plus, with art by Dylan Mangini, and published by Flat Out Games and Alderock Entertainment Group, which goes by AEG.
In Point Galaxy, you select cards each round to craft your personal cosmos. Each turn, you'll take 2 cards from the mark and add them to your expanding universe. You may draft either 2 face-up planet cards or 2 face-down space cards, or one of each. Planet cards are placed into columns or solar systems in numeric sequence, with each new planet card added to the top or bottom of each column, but never in the middle. You'll also find moon cards and wormhole cards among the planets. Moon cards score points based on adjacent planets, and wormholes allow you to modify the sequence of each solar system. Space cards consist of suns and asteroid cards. A sun card goes on the top of each solar system column, and sun cards score points based on the planets in their connected solar system. Asteroids provide endgame majority bonus for the player with the most. Players can also collect rocket icons on the cards they collect, and for every 5 rocket icons a player has in their galaxy, they collect a rocket bonus tile, which provides additional scoring opportunities. The game ends after 13 rounds, and players earn points from sun cards, unique planets in each solar system, moon cards, unique research icons, asteroids, and rocket token bonuses. The player with the most points wins. So very similar to Point Salad in game flow, but a little bit of a different beast as far as organizing the cards that you're collecting.
Yeah.
This, for me, is the next step that I wanted Point City to be.
I don't recall that one. To me, this is the best game, the best sequel to Point Salad. This is the sequel to Point Salad in my mind.
Yeah.
And I mean no offense to Point City. Point City had a bookkeeping that just gave my brain a hard time. And Point Galaxy, I really enjoy the set collection that goes into it, and it is a level up from Point Salad. But I feel like after 50 games of Point Salad, Point Galaxy is what I want to play next.
Yeah. I mean, I love it has that Ohanami style of your cards need to be ascending or descending. You can only go, if you've skipped over a number, you can't go back and add it. So it has that. But then there's also the set collection and scoring combos. So getting those bonus tiles or getting your suns in the right solar system to maximize those points. There's a lot of different, pies to have your hands in that I really enjoy.
Well, and how many different pies can you have your hands in at once, Doug?
Potentially 10.
Okay, but not 12, right? And so Point Galaxy, there's more to do than what one player is able to do. And I really liked that. Okay, the most recent game you and I played, it was a 3-player game. I ignored the asteroids. I didn't think there's any way I was going to get them, so I just let that go. But what's that allow other people at the table to do? Easily collect the asteroid majority, right? Yeah. And I think they did a really nice job in that. I didn't mean to bring in Snark with the instant comparison to Point City. For me, I had a lot of excitement around Point City because I love Point Salad so much.
Yeah.
And so, expectations that a player brings into a game can really shape things. So my expectations, I didn't really have any coming into Point Galaxy. And when I got done playing, I was like, ooh, this is exactly what I was hoping it would be. Love the decision in the draft and when to take and what to take and how long can I wait to do certain actions.
Yeah, I think your point there about the expectations is valid. And I am afraid that this one is going to fall under the radar because of the way that Point City landed. Because I think people that may have been big fans of Point Salad went into Point City, and it was just a different animal. It was not the same round structure. There was cleanup between every turn that you had to kind of keep track of, and spending currency and things like that. And so I think people went from, oh, I love Point Salad, what's that next step? Oh, Point City, this really isn't. And then they come out with Point Galaxy, which is almost exactly what I would have expected out of Point City. And I'm afraid that people are going to miss it because they tried Point City and it was like, not great for me.
Let's talk
I really
directly.
enjoy that.
Let's talk directly for 30 seconds then to our listeners who've been with us since February of 2021 when we talked about Point Salad on episode 6, right?
Sure.
And you and I are clearly two ambassadors of that game. I mean, we taught 25 games of it at Noble Night at an event they had, and then we wanted to play it more to try to figure it out. What do people need to know who already know Point Salad and inside and out if they're going to bring home Point Galaxy?
I think it's going to take a little bit more time to get up and running. And when I say that is the setup is not the problem, and teaching the core mechanisms are exactly the same as how you're selecting cards. But where those cards go and how you manipulate them once they come into your play area is where there's going to be that next level of explanation that's not just going to make it a straight crossover. That being said, I don't think it's a super heavy lift. We'll be talking about some games later that do have that high burden. But it's going to be, if on a complexity scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being super easy, 10 being super complicated, if Point Salad was a 2, this is going to go up to a 3 or a 4. Not a huge jump.
Here's what I really liked about it. I liked being able to choose those combos, the rocket ships,
Yes.
and be able to think like, ooh, which rocket ship am I going to get? And that really helped me to then narrow the focus for the rest of the game, right? If I know I already have this combination that's going to score me points, I'm going to continue to look for cards that fit that combination. And that is in Point Salad, kind of, if you luck into it, right?
Yeah.
If it's, 2 points for every set of 3 carrots or whatever it is. But I feel like the rocket ships add that level of objectives and bonuses that gamers tend to really, really run towards.
Yeah, and the big difference, you mentioned with the scoring cards in Point Salad, it would apply to all of the vegetables in your collection. This one, those scoring cards are the sun cards, but they only apply to the planets that are underneath them in the same solar system. So it takes a little bit more of you have to be a little bit more choosy of what you're putting in those solar systems, because once it's kind of finished, you can't go back into it. And there's no necessarily, there's the struggle of, do I make this solar system really big, or do I have a bunch of solar systems kind of going all at the same time and filling them up as I go, giving me a little bit more flexibility, but I may not get as many points if I don't finish it up. And the scoring for the solar system is based on the number of unique numbers, and the cards are numbered 1 to 8, 1 to 7, something along those lines. I could be way off, and something I should know. But I want to say it's 7 for some reason, but you could basically, with a wormhole, you may be able to have a couple of 7s in your one solar system, but those 7 cards, 7 different numbers. So a wormhole would allow you to add more cards, which may help you with your sun, because if you can get a bunch of pink planets, your sun might score for pink planets. But you're also going to score each solar system based on the number of unique numbers. So if you have all 7 numbers represented in one solar system, it's going to score a lot of points. So, and they escalate where it's like, if you have a 1-card solar system, it's 1 point, and 3 really not that many points. Once you get up to 7, it's a bunch of points. And so that idea of like, do I finish this one off and try and make it a 7, or do I have several going at the same time that lets me draft easier? So there's a lot of really cool decisions to be made. And I think decisions that don't get in the way of the enjoyment, or the way that other people at the table can play the game. And what I mean by that is, if you're playing with younger kids, they may just go after the colors or one scoring thing and kind of box themselves out. They can play their game and have a good time, and you can play your game as in depth as you want to, pulling all of those levers, which I think is a hallmark of a great game.
Well, and you have the other decisions too. When do you want to go after the sun, right? You can let some cards stack and just hang out there. The one thing that I'll just add, and I'll send it over to you to wrap up, I enjoyed watching other people put together their solar systems. In our first game that we played, that 4-player game, I enjoyed looking at the table and seeing how people were approaching it, not from a standpoint of, oh, I need a competitive edge, I got to see what they're doing. So I know, no, it was that initial teaching and learning game was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And when I see that in a game, I make special note of that, and I make comment about it on a podcast, because those are the games that are fun to introduce to new groups of people. Right?
Yeah.
Because the first time you start to figure out a game and how you want to try to score points and everything that you just talked about, there, to me, there's a lot of fun and joy in that.
Yeah, yeah. So that is a great game that we both enjoy called Point Galaxy from AEG.